gathering to remember a rising hip-hop star gunned down at a Miami Beach nightclub.
And tonight, a mother is sharing her heartbreak, saying that she spoke to her son just hours before his murder. And Local 10 crime specialist Bridget Meadow live at Miami Beach with more. Bridget.
Lowell Grissom's loved ones held a candlelight vigil outside of the nightclub where he was killed, and they passed out these pictures. On the back, there is a poem that says, "Forever in our hearts you'll stay, loved and missed every day." We did speak to his mother, who has a strong message for the shooter. Police continue to search for the killer. Dozens came together outside Gala nightclub in Miami Beach to remember Lowell Grissom. The 37-year-old musician was shot and killed inside the club early Sunday morning. Fighting tears, his mother, Alexandria DeRossi, opened up about her sudden loss.
I don't understand the why. Why he's not here with us. Why someone would take away our joy. Take away someone that we love so deeply.
His sister, Shy Grissom, says her brother was loved by many.
He was an amazing man and did an amazing job of taking care of all of us.
The artist was well known in the world of hip hop, connected to artists like Ray J, Chris Brown, and was closely tied to Michael B. Jordan. His mother says she spoke to him hours before his death.
He touched so many lives. He was, we used to call him the connector.
Grissom was a father to a 7-year-old and made Miami home about 1 year ago. The shooting came as a shock to his friends and family who planned to take him back to L.A. 2 other unidentified women were also shot inside the club, but what led up to the shooting remains a mystery. But Grissom's mother believes justice is soon coming, with a message for the killer.
I'm praying for their soul.
Amen.
I'm praying for their conscience.
Amen.
I want them to know that they took my most precious jewel from me.
What's good, y'all? What's the Numbers TV? It's your boy Paul Rowe. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. And like a video if you appreciate the content that Paul Rowe and What's the Numbers I provided. Today we back on the profile piece. This one is on Everybody Knows Low. In this video, we're going to talk about his beginnings and how he became a part of the music industry. After that, we will speak about his time in LA and some of the celebrities that he would call his friends. Then, we will speak about the different times Low would make news headlines for a variety of different reasons, before finally breaking down the details surrounding the situation where Low would end up losing his life. Everybody Knows Low, aka Young Low, real name Lowell Grissom, is from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Growing up, he had a love for basketball, and with being 6'7" in height, was looked at as a talented Division I prospect during his high school years. He also had a passion for music, as he was writing and producing songs that made it to local radio while still living in Indiana. Eventually, while getting recruited to Purdue University, Low made the decision to attend a junior college in California in an attempt to get his grades in order to become eligible to play Division I basketball. But while he was out in California, Low would get bit by the LA show business bug. He no longer wanted to pursue a career in sports and instead decided to chase his dreams of becoming a successful artist and songwriter in the music industry. Once his mind was made up, Low wasted no time as he began making connections on the LA music scene, and before you know it, was hanging out with some successful and well-known artists. Low's most notable relationship was the one he had with the singer Chris Brown. Him and Chris formed a business relationship, with Chris eventually making Low, who went by Young Low at the time, a part of his OHB music crew in 2016. Low would travel around the world with Chris Brown and even went on to release some of his own music during this time, as well as being featured on some songs with the platinum-selling Chris Brown himself. Low also had a lot of female friends and was looked at as somewhat of a ladies' man amongst his peers. In October 2017, Low was cutting his face while partying at a club in New York City. The cuts were deep, and the rapper needed 50 stitches on his face to seal the wound. More trouble for the rapper came to light in May of 2018, when Low and Chris Brown were accused of rape after a woman sued Chris Brown over an alleged sexual assault that happened at the singer's house. But in 2019, the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office declined to file criminal charges against Low due to insufficient evidence. The lawsuit against Chris Brown was eventually dropped in April of 2020 after the singer reportedly settled the matter privately out of court. Low and Chris's friendship remained strong throughout all the up and downs they went through. The two still hung out and did business together, but in 2021, Low started hanging out with Jazz Prince and Hitmaker more frequently. Low and Jazz had a close relationship going back years ago to their early come up in the music industry. Hitmaker, who was formerly known as the rapper Young Berg, had reinvented himself as a producer who became very successful and in demand over the years. He created a record label named Maker Sound Records and appointed Low as one of the main A&Rs for the label. Low would relocate from the West Coast to Miami to be closer to Hitmaker and the everyday dealings of Maker Sound Records. Always wanted to be on the scene in general, but especially the club scene in whatever city he was in, Low started to become a familiar face in the clubs on South Beach. Miami is known as a party city, and South Beach is home to a bunch of different industry events throughout the year. So Low was in his element as soon as he made Miami his new home. It looked like he was running with a good crowd that was getting money and making moves traveling the world, but unfortunately for Low, the good times would come to an end in May of 2023. When while he was out partying at Gala nightclub in South Beach, Low was shot to death in front of a bunch of partygoers. 2 women were also hit with bullets at the same time Low got shot, but they survived while Low lost his life. He was 37 years old at the time of his death. The club that Low was killed in had a bunch of cameras, so it was a bunch of footage for investigators to comb through, and it took them a little while for them to lock in on their leads that they had in the case. But by August of 2024, they made their first arrest in the case, where they arrested a Canadian man who was already a wanted fugitive over there for murder and everything by the name of Deshaun Thoroughbred Davis. He was arrested in California for the murder. When they arrested him, they released that they got like camera footage of him inside stalking Low and, running out and getting in a getaway car, speeding away and everything. And then in November of 2024, they made another arrest. And that one was a man by the name of Gerby Francois, right? And AKA Whoop De Whoop, right? He got Instagram. He be in New York. He used to be back with, I don't know if he's from Queens, bro. I don't know where he's from. Probably Queens. I'm not sure. Who knows, really? But he used to be back then with Slow Bucks, back when they was running around, like 2012 and all that, stood in the mix. Then recently I seen him with Bass Swag and Cash Cobain and that circle, like the Slizzies and all that. So he definitely got a history in New York City. Like, people know who he is. Now, he might not be as far as that. He got an active Instagram account too, but, like, the casual might not know who he is. But if you somebody who was outside New York City or certain circles or even had your ears, you know who Whoop De Woo is. You understand what I'm saying? Now, they got charged with first-degree murder. They got him supposedly stalking Low, all on camera. Supposedly, this is what they allegedly is what they saying. Got footage of a car. Supposedly something like that, like a bunch of camera footage supposedly. And you got to think, it wasn't a crowded club on South Beach, right? So I'm pretty sure there is cameras, but right now it's just alleged, these crimes. Nobody's been convicted of anything yet. But they do got them. They held them. No bail. Now what they saying is that Thoroughbred Davis, a guy from Canada, they saying he's like a contract killer, allegedly. They got the murder in Canada. They say he's like a contract killer. I don't know what they saying Whoop De Woo role is. He wasn't the trigger man, and they saying in the footage. They saying he was there watching, and then he was the getaway. He was in the getaway car, a drop-top Benz outside the club or something. This is what they saying in the footage. In the reports. If I'm not mistaken, though, Whoop De Woo might be one of the original lifters. If you know, you know. The service and all that. But anyway, this is an update to the, Lowell Grisham, a.k.a. everybody knows Low, a.k.a. Low, Young Low. And condolences to his family, his mom. She's active on Instagram and social media. She definitely grieves her son heavily. And, so I just want to make sure, we doing these videos. The proper respect goes out to the proper individuals, man. So rest in peace to, everybody knows Low. And also, I seen that this was addressed because, like I said, there was rumors that Low allegedly cooperated after he was cut in the club in New York City. Now, they posted on his account that the article or something that it says that nobody cooperated and all that. Now I do remember when it happened, the person who went to jail or whatever for it, he made a post saying that somebody told and all this, that, and the third, right? So, like I said, I don't know, but they saying the reports you say differently, somebody else saying differently. So, being that was addressed, we do got to put that out there. They saying that was cap. His family saying him telling and all that was cap. You understand? But like I said, there was some people pushing that narrative, from New York and all that over that situation. But anyway, man, like I said, this is an update. We will be updating this as it goes along, being that this has a whole new layer to it now that, somebody from New York that people might be in tune with is locked up for this murder. So, we will update it when it's all said and done, which way it plays out. But like I said, man, it's What's Numbers TV. A couple updated profile pieces for y'all. Hope y'all appreciate it. We do got some new profile pieces, got some new videos on the way. A couple more live streams. You know how we do, man. Follow the channel, follow the Instagram, follow the TikTok. Business Poro, What's the Numbers at yahoo.com. The numbers is up, the views is up. Holla, we got good deals right now. Salute to Batty Bills, Federal Aid, the numbers Mobb, man. Become a member of the channel. And on that note, man, WB400. And on that note, man, we out of here. Peace.